children, this is a political science class of class 12. Today I am going to start a new topic. The name of the topic is India's External Affairs. As children, all of you are having your neighbors and all of you are having some kind of relationship with your neighbors. Maybe with some neighbors you are having very good relations, maybe with some neighbors you are having as usual relationship, and maybe with some neighbors you are having very worst relationship. But all these relationships are based on some principles. Maybe it is your experience that you are having these different kinds of relationship with different neighbors. In the same way, every country is having some kind of relationship with its neighbors also and with the other countries of the world also. And all these relationship of a country is based on some policies and principles which are known as foreign policies. Now let's know about the international context when India became free. The situations what was going on at the international level. We know that India got freedom on 15 August 1947. This is the time when there was an end of Second World War, that ended in 1945. And at the same time, this was a time when many other countries which were the colonies of Japan, Germany and England, they started to become independent. And the most important targets for all these newly independent countries were to form the government, to adopt the system, that is form of government. As for India, the most important target was to eradicate poverty and to follow the democratic form of government. That is for the welfare of the people, we can say. And the second was democracy. These were the foremost important targets which the India was supposed to get and which the India was supposed to achieve. For India, it was very necessary to form the foreign policy for its country, because we became free and we know that we made our constitution also, and which was implemented in 1950. Now it was necessary to form the foreign policy. So India decided to form a foreign policy in such a way so that it could maintain the sovereignty of our country also, and it could respect the sovereignty of other countries also. Respect now, what do you mean by the word sovereignty? Sovereignty is a word which means a country should be free to take the decision for its external affairs also and for its internal affairs also. And we know that when we became free, that it was a time of 1947, but we became sovereign in 1950, because in 1950 we could implement our constitution, and unless we are implementing our constitution, we cannot become a sovereign. So the aim of the foreign policy of India was not only to respect its own sovereignty, but the aim was to respect the sovereignty of the other nations also. Means the India did not accept the colonization, and it was against the colonization, and it supported the view of sovereignty. Means every country should be free to take its decision in external and internal affairs both. It should be free. The second most important thing was that India's foreign policy focused on the peace. important, because unless we are having peace in our country, we cannot grow, we cannot achieve our aim also. And we know that during the colonial period, whatever the struggles were going on, due to that the peace was not there in the country, and after the partition of India also there was a lot of serious chaos in the country. So main aim of foreign policy of India was to maintain peace in the country, and for this purpose the active principles of state policy have been included in the constitution of our country. In the active principles, all the important guidelines have been given to the state government by the Constitution of India, so that it could implement, it could make laws, whatever the laws are needed for the welfare of the people, and every state government is free to make the laws, and it is not justiciable, means if the state government is not able to perform, and if it is not able to means fulfill its all the active principles, then no one can go to the court for its implementation or for its fulfillment. So it's not justiciable also, but certainly they are the guidelines which the state government is supposed to follow. As we know that when we became free, whatever the resources were there, not only in India but all the countries which were newly independent, for those resources, or we can say with the help of only those resources, it was not easy for the countries to be developed, because they wanted to be modest like means modest like Western countries. So countries were dependent for the aid upon the Western countries, or we can say some countries were there who were dependent upon some Eastern countries also, due to which there were emergence of two power blocks, which we have studied in the previous chapters in detail. So there were two power blocks. One was headed by US and the second was USSR. There were some countries who started to take help from the US, and they became the ally of this country, that is the US, and some countries started to take financial help from the USSR, and then they became the ally of this that is USSR. The result was that due to the emergence of two blocks, there was the starting of Cold War between the USA and USSR. When India became free, it was not easy for India to adopt or to follow only one bloc, right? If India is going to be included, or if it is going to be take help only from USA, and it is going to declare that it is in the USA later bloc, then certainly the countries, or we can say then certainly the India will get the financial help from the USA, no doubt, but it will not get the help from the USSR, because both are the having conflicts between them, and they have represented, or we can say they represented blocks. If one is going to accept this block, or if one is going to include or enter in this USSR block, then certainly they will not get the help from the opposite block. So India decided not to be included or enter in any block, and it decided to maintain distance from both the blocks, and they have created a new organization that name was NAM, that is Non-Aligned Movement. And in non-aligned group, in non-aligned movement, that is non-aligned group means India did not join neither USA and nor USSR, and the result was that USA did not like this because USA wanted that India should agree and India should be included in जो है USA bloc, and then जो है it should may have some benefit from the India also. Now let's know about the problems which the India was facing. As we know that before the independence also India was facing a lot, and after a long struggle it could get the freedom, but the problems did not end here, and after the independence also there were many problems which the India had to face. One, we can say domestic problems were there, one side domestic problems. In domestic problems there were many issues like social growth, then जो है economic growth, and then political stability. Then other side there were some issues like on the basis of international issues, we can say. In this here also there were two phases. Phase 1, Cold War, and the second was disintegration of Now we can see that after independence also India was facing some domestic problems, like it had to grow in the field of it had to grow and it had to solve all the issues of its society, and it had to do the social growth. So social problem was there, and then economic problem, because economic condition of the country was not good and it had to develop in this field. And then the political stability it needed, because though Indian National Congress, that is Congress political party, was the biggest party and it gave stability for some years, but for some years, or we can say for few terms, but certainly it also need some means it was also facing some problems, because some leaders they were having some conflicts among themselves, which we will study in this chapter.